Welcome to UnEdited, brought to you by OurCEONetwork. Good people, better business, discovering the best of you.
Every Thursday, we get personal and talk to innovators and explore what it is to be an entrepreneur. We will be taking questions live. Make sure you hit the heart emojis as usual because we love the loves. And keep your comments coming in.
And go ahead and click on that like button here on Facebook. Smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us here at OurCEONetwork, Instagram, LinkedIn. Also head over.
Almost. You almost had it.
I always get tongue twisted.
Tongue what?
Something. Also head over to OurCEONetwork.com for more information about marketing your business and sponsorships during these broadcasts. Hello, Ms. Rogness.
Hello.
Let me get rid of this thing.
How are you?
Pretty good, and you?
Pretty good.
Hey, we have a special guest today. It's Thursday. It's our usual show, UnEdited, here at the 5 o'clock hour.
Yes.
Mountain Standard Time. The question I had for you, though.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever been in love, Miss Rogness?
Never.
Never?
Yeah. I mean, I have.
How does that feel?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Love, how do you feel? Warm and fuzzy? I mean, it's typically what people feel loving. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if warm and fuzzy is, yeah.
Oh,
My
boy.
relationship stuff is weird right now.
We're not talking about, we're just talking in general.
I know.
Oh, boy.
I know.
So anyway, there's some people out there that look for love their whole lives and they never seem to find her. Maybe that's a journey within themselves. I don't know. But I know that in my experience, in my time, I have felt it here and there, and I think I feel it now. I'm pretty sure I feel it now. I shouldn't say I think, especially since Violet watches.
Well, of course.
I should sound more.
Awesome.
I should sound more assured than that.
Who doesn't love Violet?
Everybody loves Violet.
I know exactly. Violet gives me warm and fuzzies. Yes, if that's what you're asking.
So there's actually people out there that can match you if you're maybe relationship challenged.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, I mean. That's the thing.
We live busy lives. I know you're working like all the time. I'm working all the time. Sometimes we just need a little help and beyond just Tinder and some of the other apps out there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So with that said, if I may start with our first guest, our only guest, because it's Thursday.
Yeah.
She's the author of several books, but the latest one is Attracting the Love of Your Life, 30-Day Manifestation Guide. She's also the Faery matchmaker who matches celebrities and who is also a love expert. So without further ado, if I may introduce Miss Jacqueline Fae.
Hi.
I screwed
How
up.
How are you?
You're supposed to clap. There you go.
And the audience goes wild.
Ms. Jacqueline Fae, hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate the introduction, and this is exciting to be here. Thank you.
Now we try our best. So your business is matchmaking. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what matchmaking is all about?
Yes. So it's not for people who are just relationship challenged. Matchmaking is for everybody. So when I was single, I actually worked with a matchmaker. It's a great way to meet people without going through those dating apps. And, as a woman, I just remember I would literally be on those dating apps for hours. It became like a full-time job. You have to be on there for guys, they're getting hit up. Women are getting hit up all the time. It just takes up all your time. And then you meet people who look nothing like their pictures. And, it's just not a great way of doing things for everybody. Some people it works, some people it doesn't. And so we work with like a lot of busy executives, some celebrities, some very high profile people that are genuinely looking for a relationship. I'm pretty intuitive. So I really get to know my clients, get to know what they're looking for, and then I match them with the best possible person so they can have a great relationship like it sounds like you actually have. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're in the Los Angeles area ish, and I think your business is trying to branch out into Scottsdale. From when we
Yes.
talked a little bit, you want to talk about kind of what that looks like and where you're branching out to?
Yeah, so we're actually expanding. So we started in Los Angeles, and then with COVID, I throw these high-end executive cocktail parties for singles, and they're really fun, and people get to go. And we weren't able to do too much because Los Angeles was shut down. Arizona was a little bit more open, so we actually threw a very small little event about 3 weeks ago in Scottsdale. It went really well. We've been branching out over there. It's great. I love Scottsdale, so we've kind of been branching there. We've been branching to Miami and New York. We're going to be throwing an event in Miami in April, I guess this month. And so, yeah, we're helping people all over the United States now.
So I guess for me, who is kind of the target person you work with? I mean, is there like a hotness level? Is that like you have to be at least a 5 hot? Or,
At
six
least a
hot?
5.
Does monetary level equate to hotness level? I know I'm being catty, but there's some truth to that. I think
There's some truth in all of it. We do work with some very high profile people, some celebrities, and sometimes they are picky with what they're looking for. And I try to tell people to be open-minded because looks are definitely not everything, and a relationship is not built on just attraction. It's definitely a part of it, but it's definitely not all of it. So yeah, and we work with very successful people. Ideally, people who have their life, their career figured out. They just spend all their time building their career, and they really haven't made that time for love. And so we can kind of help those really busy executives with that.
so. It's like your like a net profit, or like if your net worth is like 1 million, does that make you like a 5, 6, maybe?
It's not based off of that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it goes deeper than that.
Yeah,
But yes.
yeah, and I think from where I read from the bio, you use a little bit of psychology to help people or match people. I didn't know what kind of part that played into it, or what that did.
Yeah. So my background is I'm a certified NLP practitioner. So I also studied psychology. I studied a bunch of other stuff too that probably was not important, like Reiki and crystal healing and lots of other things. But yeah, so I use kind of my background in psychology and NLP to really get to know people, what their values are. And then I do breakthrough sessions with my clients, and we kind of figure out, okay, you've been doing a pattern in dating, it's not working. What is this pattern, and how can we break through this so we can find the right partner that is going to last? So it definitely plays a big part of it.
And then when you say NLP, we're already at our first commercial break. But when you say NLP, what does that mean? And then we'll take a small break.
Sure, it's neuro linguistic programming. So it's pretty much what Tony Robbins does, and it's programming your brain for success.
Oh, that's awesome. So as we're here with Miss Jacqueline Fae, the fairy matchmaker, that's kind of a play off the name a little bit because your last name is Fae. So if you look at and you type in fairy, the traditional spelling, it's not the traditional spelling. So it's Faery matchmaker, fairy
Yes.
matchmaker. So we're here. We're on the show today with Jacqueline Fae with the fairy matchmaker. We're going to be taking a small commercial break. Coming back, and we're going to be learning about neuro-linguistic programming, and I'm sure some of the minute details of what love really means and really is. Maybe.
Yeah.
Kelsey wants to know. I want to know with Kelsey. So hang in there 1 second. We're going to be right back after this break.
I'm a perfectionist that understands that there's no such thing as perfection. I was, as an entrepreneur, sitting alone in an office. I was the owner, the managing partner, but who do I talk to? How do I find out that other people are really in the same boat? Let me create what I wanted, because that's what others are apparently going to want to. When you're doing business, it has to have a purpose. One of those purposes has to be fulfillment. How is what I'm doing affecting people? Here we are, a networking group where everybody wants to get together. It's why we network. We want to learn more. We want to make connections. Hi, my name's Dan Kite, and I'm the CEO of Workuity. And this is our CEO Network.
That was Dan Kite from our CEO Network. He is the owner of Workuity here, and he's one of our sponsors for today's show. So we appreciate him and everything he provides to us, Miss Kelsey.
So keep the comments and the love emojis coming. We love loves. We love to know that people are watching and enjoying the show and what they have to say.
Yes, we love everything.
We love everything.
So we're back here with Miss Jacqueline Fae from the Faery Matchmaker. Hello, Miss Jacqueline. You want to say hi to everybody one more time?
Hey.
So before we took that small break, we were talking about neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and the use of psychology to really connect people. In your experience, what does that look like, and how can we share that briefly? We don't have to give away all the secrets, you know.
Okay. So a lot of my experience is like through my own experience. So I was terrible at love, and I was really, really bad. I would pick the wrong partners over and over again. And I was like single for close to 10 years. And so then when I started studying NLP and figuring out like what I was doing over and over again in my own relationships, then I was kind of able to figure this out. And I was like, oh my goodness, my values are all wrong. I was putting things like all the wrong things were going first, like looks, funny, money, like that was all I was looking for in a partner. And I just kept finding these rich, funny douchebags, and they weren't like ready for love. They were ready to date a bunch of girls. So I had to realign my values. And so that's kind of what I do with my clients through NLP is we figure out what values are really important to you. And sometimes you got to shift your values around to find success, because, you really got to find someone who wants love. If you guys both want kids, that's something that's important. It's making sure you guys have the same end game. So that's definitely a big part of it.
Yeah. So as far as like the learning process and what you've learned in this whole, fairy matchmaking endeavor, what are some of the takeaways that you can possibly share with people out there still trying to find love and still trying to find what's important? Why are you looking at me? You're looking right at me.
Because you're sitting across from me, Robert.
I'm not leading into anything.
Because I'm trying not to sit there and like make weird faces when the camera's on me and you're talking, and I'm like,
oh, here, let me switch there. So what can you share? Sorry, miss.
It's fine. I'm used to it switching when I talk, so I'm like, what do I do? It's just always on me.
Well, we're trying new things. We're trying to switch things up, Jacqueline, and she's not on.
It looks good. You guys look great.
Well, thank you. I know.
Yeah, the two shot is good. I like it. Yeah. And then I can talk to both of you.
I like the broken shot too. But anyway, yes. What have you learned in this whole fairy matchmaking experience?
The number one thing I think that I've learned and that I tell people all the time is love never comes in the wrapping paper that you think it's going to come in. So it's best to be open.
Yeah, so
that would be a big one.
Is it? Here we go. Is it challenging to kind of coach people along and really have them open up? Because I've done enough interviews, and it's really a challenge for somebody to come in like in a studio like this and be able to kind of just lay it out on the table. That's difficult in just a regular setting, and then when you get to a setting like this, or at least a little bit more professional, I find it's hard for people to be vulnerable, in that regard. Is that your experience too?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, and I would say that people, a lot of my clients they're very, very successful, and they've made a lot of money, and they're successful in their field, and they think they know what's best for them, but it's not working. And so when they finally open themselves up is when we really help people find someone. And a big thing is too, is it's the mindset that you're in. And this is huge with anything. Like if you're in a positive mindset and you hire a matchmaker and you say, oh my God, this is going to work. We are going to find my person. And you feel really, really good about it. And you do the work and you work on yourself, you will find somebody. But it's when people kind of close themselves off and, they begrudgingly are like, oh, I guess I'll do it. Those are not people I want to work with. I want to work with people who are exciting, because I feel like when you're positive, you're going to attract positive things into your life.
So what is the I'm sorry, Kelsey. What is the
No, it's okay. You can do it. It's just sometimes when I'm when I'm sitting there and I have a weird face and it goes back to you, I'm like, sorry.
Oh, I'm just, yeah. So anyway, so what is an ideal candidate for somebody in your program, or what do you look for? Do you look for that one spark in somebody? Do you tend to be that selective?
When I'm working with clients, I really look with people. I like working with people. I mean, number one, yes, ideally someone who is successful is important. You kind of have to have your life together. That's important. And then, it's also people who are positive, who are open-minded, who are optimistic about finding love. And, they're open, sometimes we suggest you might want to get some new pictures taken or something like that. They're open-minded. And those are definitely my favorite clients, are the ones that they're open.
So, is there anybody famous, or I know you probably can't disclose a lot of that stuff. Hold on one more second. I know you probably can't disclose a lot of that stuff, but is there somebody that you're able to kind of talk about a little bit, or at least a success story that you've had in the last few months?
Yes. I mean, like, I do work with some celebrities. I cannot say who they are because they would probably kill me. Yes, and we have NDAs, so we can't do that. But
Kanye on there? He's single.
No.
Is he? I don't know. I don't follow him.
Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, Jacqueline. I was just trying to prod you for your information.
Yes, but I had one really successful client he is a little bit famous. And it was an interesting story because I introduced him to his wife, and she lived in London and he lived in LA. And we were working together for a really long time, and he was like one of those people who's really, really positive and was like, you're going to help me find my wife. You're going to help me find my wife. And then eventually, we did. And and he was open-minded. Like, I found the perfect woman for him. He was kind of like a rock star, and she liked that look, that long hair, like everything he had going for him. And it was like just a perfect match. And I was like, she doesn't live in this country.
Was that like, a literal rock star? I'm trying to break it down.
Yes, he is. I mean, I can't go into.
We got a clue. We have a clue.
Yes.
Kelsey, we have a clue.
I just want to sing that Nickelback song.
Oh.
Because we all just want to be big rock stars.
Oh, yes.
That one. Don't mind me. Just had to sing a little. That's apparently.
I love it.
Anyway.
Last week I listened to the video and it was very me singing and not so much guitar, I realized. So probably was just about as good as that.
Yeah, but we're here to talk about
it. Was good. It was good.
I liked about your singing ability.
Oh my goodness.
Even though we love you
wanted me to talk, I'm talking.
So as we approach our second commercial break, I think we might be having some difficulties, but that's kind of what the show's all about.
Have we ever not had difficulties?
I don't think there's one show that's been perfect. I'm still working on I've read this script like literally 20,000 times. Still haven't gotten it right.
Yeah.
So we're here with Miss Jacqueline Fae from Faery Matchmaker. Sorry, Kelsey. I'm here with Jacqueline Fae from Faery Matchmaker. We're asking questions about love and her business. So we got to the portion after the commercial break there. We get to break down your questions. I know there's a couple questions that came in. Kelsey, yes, a couple questions did come in.
I can't see it.
I will show them in a minute.
All right.
So as we do this break, we'll be back with Miss Jacqueline Fae, and this is open session, so all of us can ask whatever questions you have. She may or may not disclose if she's working with Kanye. I still want to know, or Kim K. I mean, if she's working with Kim K, that's important to me. That's important to me.
It is.
I won't tell you why. But.
Oh.
So anyway, you guys hang on 1 second. We're going to be back in just 60 seconds.
We are a community.
We are a community.
We are a community.
A community of entrepreneurs and owners.
A community of entrepreneurs and owners.
A community of entrepreneurs and owners. We face many challenges.
But we lead with our hearts.
And we push forward.
Push forward.
We push forward.
To overcome any obstacle.
And we have found a place
That we can share ideas to support one another.
And help each other.
When it matters most.
Come join us.
Join us.
Come join us because
This is our
This is our CEO network.
I can't do it. I can't smile at the end.
Those are the folks at Our CEO Network. Those are some of our members, and we like to do videos for them and share what they like to share. So we work with entrepreneurs and small businesses. But we are back today, back here, the last segment, the segment I like the most, which could be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the questions you have. So, Kelsey.
Hello. I actually was able to pull up the questions.
Oh.
Yay.
If you like the likes, no. If you keep those hearts coming, I'll do it. If you like what you're seeing, keep those hearts coming along. We enjoy the comments and those questions. Just let them roll into the comments section because we are here with Miss Jacqueline Fae from Faery Matchmaker, the lovely Miss. Hello. Can you say hi one more time, Miss Jacqueline?
Hello.
So this is the gritty part. So let me go to the whole panel here. Let me go everywhere.
Okay.
So I know I got a few people asking questions about you and kind of what you do, your services. I'll let them kind of freely ask what they want. And you may or may not be able to answer them. You may or may not be able to confirm whether it's Kim K or Kanye West you're working with.
Oh my gosh.
You may or may not.
Well,
I do want to know. I want to know the inside.
So,
Oh, boy.
you want me to read these questions?
Go for it. Ms.
Okay,
Rogness.
cool. So Jerry, oh my goodness. So Jerry says, what are key variables and questions to start the search as open-ended? I'm not sure.
I guess, yeah, maybe what are some key questions when you're approaching somebody, maybe at a bar or maybe not even at a bar, maybe you're at church and you see a lovely person, 5 maybe, 6, 7, whoever the level number is. So you approach somebody. What are some questions that I think would be some common icebreaker questions, or you think are not too creepy? Because I say a lot of stupid things half the time.
Okay, wait. So what is the question exactly? Like, what is a good thing to if you're single to talk?
Icebreaker questions or some topics of conversation. I think that's what Jerry's asking.
I feel like he's asking though, what are the key questions that she would ask him to start?
Maybe I read it wrong.
To start the search, what does she need to know about him to start the search? That's how I read it.
Yeah, that was why I was confused. Or I can answer both ways if you want. So yeah, the key questions I think would be, I always want to get to know somebody. Have you been married before? Do you have kids? Things like that to figure out who the best match would be. Because like I said before, end game is super important. If someone doesn't want to have kids, another person wants to have kids, that's not a good match because you guys have different end games. Or, these are questions. Are you open to long distance? Are you open to meeting somebody? Some people want to meet somebody who's really, really close by because it's easier. So things like that. And then I guess if you were at church or if you were at a bar and you wanted to talk to somebody and you were single, what are good questions to come up to somebody? I always just think I don't know, you want to be a little bit different, I guess. If you have any humor, you would be great at this, but if you have any sense of humor and just I always feel like that's good. You want to stand out, and because everybody always does the same basic boring questions when they meet somebody. Hi, what's your name? What do you do?
Nice weather. Right?
Yeah, so it's exactly how's the weather? So you kind of want to you want to kind of change it up a little bit and maybe use a little bit of humor, or just be authentically yourself and just kind of have fun with it. I think the more fun that you have, the more fun the other person's going to have. So you might as well just have fun,
So I know Kelsey's let me do this again. So I know Kelsey has some questions lined up, but I had one just came in my head too. Is I've been married before. I've been married 12 years, and I would say that was a successful marriage in the fact that it lasted that long because a lot of them don't. And because we were able to get places, like have a career. And at one point I had 3 houses. Now I don't have. I have a condo now. But anyway, I feel it was very successful in the fact that it lasted so long, be able to get to that point and not worry, I think, but things happen for a reason, whatever. Do you find it's a little bit better to have like some of that background experience when somebody's entering a relationship? Or, I mean, and I'm guessing you work with kind of both, right? You work with people that haven't been in long-term relationships and people that have been, and trying to do that. Do you think it's better to be seasoned when it comes to love? Because, that's just my question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, here's the thing is like life is full of lessons and love is definitely full of lessons. And what's so crazy is if we don't learn the lessons, we just keep repeating them over and over again. And that's why people keep dating the same type of person over and over again.
Yeah.
So I definitely think if you have the experience and you've learned in the past, like, okay, I did this, you realize like a relationship is a two-way street. It's not just one person's fault that's in the end. And a lot of times, like you said, you can have a great relationship and it's just that chapter is ending and you're not the right people for each other anymore, but there's nothing wrong with either one of you. But I think it does definitely help if you've had that experience and you've learned a little bit and you're a little bit more seasoned, you understand more. But that being said, like I do have like a 21-year-old client, so it's like who's like new, to love. So there's definitely everybody's at different stages for sure.
How's that sound, Kelsey? 21? Is that good?
Oh, we don't want to talk about me.
Maybe we do. No.
I don't know that we want to talk about me and dating younger.
Oh boy, yeah.
Currently.
She likes youth.
I think I'm hanging my hat on that one.
Oh boy. So you want to read a question from the audience?
I do want to read a question from the audience. I don't really want to answer
See
about
how
me.
uncomfortable she gets. I try not to talk about relationships, but I talk about mine all the time because I'm just open that way. But
I don't have a relationship, so.
We're moving on from that.
Okay. Well, the next question.
Oh boy.
So this is going to be from Gabby. What if you were shy but open to try new things?
What new things, Gabby?
Ah.
That's a loaded question too. But yes, Jacqueline, I don't mean to steal the.
So, well, somebody else said good question. So Gabby is happy. But it's a good question. Like maybe you're not, super outgoing. How does that play into things?
I don't know, Jacqueline.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's actually the great thing about working with a matchmaker. If you are a little bit shy, because we set up the dates for you, it's not like you actually have to like go to a bar and meet somebody. So that is a perk with it. But yeah, if you are out and you meet somebody, like I said, it's just about being authentic as you can. And, we should always do things every day that we're afraid of. And like I was painfully shy as a child. And it was really hard for me. And then now I'm just, I'm really out there. But it was like I actually like got into acting and I got into doing all these things that kind of like scared me because I think it makes you stronger. So, maybe go out and do the things that you're afraid of and you have nothing to lose. So, if there's someone that you want to talk to and intuitively you feel like you would like to meet this person, you should totally do it and take the chance.
Yeah, and as we get to the next question, I want to say like the best experience I ever had was my divorce. Going through all that and hitting so many just personal like roadblocks and realizing I have this sense of self-worth, and you go through that whole process. I think anybody that's gone through a marriage and a divorce, really tries to find themselves, and some people never really do. And luckily, I feel like I was able to, but. Man, it sucks when it.
I feel like I guess I've never been married. I've never been divorced, but I feel like I'm 32, and at some point maybe I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to be with somebody because everyone expects me to be with someone and married and have kids and everything. And so now I feel like I'm at this place where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do me and fix what I want to fix about like my house or projects I have or. Like I'm just in such a like good place.
But I think 32 is good though.
But I'm just saying I'm not that desperate. Like, oh my gosh, I need to be with somebody. Like I'm content taking care of my stuff at my house and having my dog and my career and putting that all first. And then if it happens, it happens.
I think that's great. Yeah. Like,
What-
I
what-
think it's like when we put these timelines in front of us, like, oh, I got to be married by like whatever, 34. I need to have kids by 30, whatever. And then like you're putting so much pressure on it that it's never going to happen. And so if you don't put pressure on it, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But you're going to be happy and love yourself. So I think you're in an amazing place.
Well, and then I think that some women are on a timeline, right? As far as like wanting to have kids. I mean, you don't want to
Well,
be
I think that
too old.
society honestly kind of puts more pressure on it than, I mean, yeah, there's a timeline for everybody. I think even guys, technically, there's probably a timeline. I don't know. I don't know biology, so I guess I don't.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of a timeline. I don't want to be 60.
Yeah,
with
I'm just saying
with
there's a
baby.
timeline, I think, for everyone. But, I mean, at the end of the day, there's other options. Because what if you get to that point and then you find out you can't have the kids of your own that you wanted? There's so many alternatives and ways to bring people into a family. Like, I don't think that pressure, everyone puts a lot of pressure on it and doesn't need to be so much pressure.
So Jacqueline, like, I'm sure as you match people, and is there like any kind of like counseling incorporated in some of that too, or is that?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes. Like, I do a little bit of relationship coaching, and then people like keep me updated on their relationships and what's going on, and I give advice with that. And I really love that when people find each other. Like, I have a couple that actually met at the Scottsdale event, and that was like 3 weeks ago, but they're in this amazing relationship now, and they met each other at the event, and they're both calling me and telling me how much they like each other and asking advice. I'm like, I love that. Like, I think it's great. So yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about it.
So I mean, so one of the aspects is they do follow up, but is there a portion of that where you kind of continue on as the pseudo counselor maybe?
Sometimes, not as much though. I feel like once people get into a relationship, they're there, and it usually goes well for a while. And then, it's what was really interesting is with COVID, I had so many people get into these relationships, like when the lockdown started. And then when the lockdowns ended, like a lot of people got out of their relationships, and that kind of did happen, but it just showed that, relationships didn't last. And but yeah, for the most part, I definitely follow up, and I keep talking with them, but I'm not, I don't really necessarily act as their like psychologist and sit down with both of them. Ideally, I try to get them in a good headspace so they're ready and they're secure, so that when they meet the person, they don't have too many issues.
That's perfect. So Kelsey, do we have any more questions? I saw a few people chiming in and doing stuff in there.
I mean, I feel like it was pretty well covered for the questions. I scrolled through, and I mean, I think we kind of covered most of them, but I'm sure that I don't know, people reach out to Jacqueline maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
if they have specific.
Yeah, if there was anything that you want to, I'll put your information up in a second. But is there anything that you wanted to share as far as what you've learned in this whole process in helping people? What can they walk away with if they don't use your services? What should they learn, or what have you learned that you can share with them?
Sure. I guess what a big thing, like I said, being open-minded, just taking the time. I think a lot of people, they have a certain type and they only want to meet this type, and it really puts you in a box. It's kind of like the timelines, like it all puts you in a box. And when you open yourself up, like, sometimes if there's someone that maybe they're not 100% your type, but maybe it's not a relationship that you get into with this person, but you have a great friendship, or it's a business opportunity. Like, you never know. So I always say, be open-minded. Like, that would probably be the number one thing. And then also too, like, of course, working with a matchmaker, it's not free, but it is free to be in our database if you just want to be in the database. And, if we have somebody who's a good match for one of our clients, then we'll match you. So that is a thing. But also, if somebody's really looking to attract love into their life and to manifest that person into their life, they can get my book on the Faery Matchmaker, and it's not very expensive, and it could really change your life. I've had a couple of clients that did it, actually like less than a year ago, and they're both married. So that was really cool. And so I think a lot of it is like visualization and really, really just imagining yourself in the relationship and picturing this person and getting really specific with it. It helps attract that person into your life.
No, that's awesome. And so I do have something here to post for you. Let me get this up on the board. So people want to contact you. I'll go ahead and let you share that. At Faery Matchmaker on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as Clubhouse. I've been trying to really get into Clubhouse a little bit. Clubhouse is a little bit new endeavor. It's all podcasts, right? And you have to be invited in. And that's something you're on. Is that a weekly show? Is that a daily
Yeah, I do. I have a show coming later tonight. So I do like a singles room, and it's kind of fun. It's an astrology singles room. And so people come in and then we match them up I have like a celebrity astrologer who does it with me. And we match people up based on their sign. And then I put them together and they go into private rooms and see if it's a match. So it's kind of like a virtual matchmaking sort of thing.
Kind of cool. How do you feel about made me think of Love is Blind,
Oh, yeah.
because that was a whole, and I've kind of followed some of them on Instagram, and it's very interesting that, like, I have a favorite couple, and I feel like they're doing well, and I feel like that was just kind of a cool experiment.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it is. I think it is cool. I think also like something that was really kind of cool about COVID is because people couldn't meet, a lot of people get to meet each other like through the phone and through Zooms and FaceTime. And it kind of builds for a deeper relationship because it's not just based on physical, it's based on something more than that. And yeah.
I mean, that was, there was only, I think, the one season, but I started with a favorite couple when they first met, and then I ended with like a completely different couple that I thought was super cool. And I think two of the couples ended up getting married. One split up, but that guy found, somebody outside of it. Or two of them split up. Two of them got married. But of the two that got married, I had a favorite couple, and they're doing so good, and it's awesome. So
that's amazing.
I don't know. I'm like, nobody maybe knows what I'm talking about, but it was actually reminds me of this.
I watched the show.
Did you?
I don't remember. It was like so long. It was like that was like a COVID.
I like Amber and what's his name?
I don't remember the names.
Oh man, Amber and starts with a B, I think. Anyway, tall guy.
I don't remember.
And one of the girls that was a different couple that like ended up picked for the couples or whatever. She was with some other guy, but she was talking to Barnett. Barnett, that's his name. She was talking to him. She ended up with somebody else, and I feel like that's why she didn't marry him because she really was stuck on Barnett, but she picked somebody.
See, okay, so this is more like one of those like I think women like the kind of emotions and I don't want to say drama, but the dramatized version of love, where I think guys are like steak and eggs, just like plain and simple, like.
I don't know.
I don't know. What do I know? I have no idea what love is, maybe.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy. So we're at the end of the show today. It's at the 5:40 hour. I have an appointment. So
I have an appointment as well.
We have to get going. So
we gotta go.
We're here talking to Miss Jacqueline Fae from the Faery Matchmaker. I want to say thank you for joining us. Before you head out, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick read for us here at OurCEO Network. Our CEO Network. If you want to market your business, here with us at OurCEO Network, we create your marketing videos, offer you social media management support, and highlight you at events such as today's call. Instant messages here at Facebook at OurCEONetwork.com or OurCEONetwork.com. I keep screwing up those things. For details about becoming a sponsor and marketing opportunities. Miss Jacqueline Fae, thank you for coming on. Is there any last words you want to share with everybody as I put up your contact information one more time?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me. This was fun. You guys are really fun. So I appreciate you guys for having me. And if anybody has any questions, any thoughts, feel free to contact me. That would be awesome.
Yes, I think we're fun too. Miss Kelsey.
You
No,
try.
thank you very much, Miss Jacqueline Fae. As we sign off, love is tricky. Love can be very complicated, but at the end of the day, I think it's well worth it. So I want to appreciate Miss Jacqueline Fae for coming on, and we'll see you guys on tomorrow. We're back with Finance Friday. Here, man, get off, Kelsey. We're back with Finance Friday at the noon hour. If you want to learn about finances, go ahead and log in at OurCEONetwork.com. I keep doing that. RCO Network here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye.